Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. Where do I start? Yeah, we're talking about Bad Buddy series, the series episode 7. I'm confusing myself now. Oh my gosh, where do I start? Saying that I've said multiple times, I'm really enjoying this show. I'm loving the direction they're going and everything. I find it hard to find things to really criticize about this show. I'm just really enjoying it so far. Like I said, everything that I hoped they wouldn't do, they didn't do. So I'm happy. Do I start with how cringy? It's just so cringy. Like, he just be doing stuff. Well, not isn't the cringy one. Pat is the cringy one. He just does stuff that I'm like, ugh, stop, dude. He's so cringy. Where do we start? So, of course, at the end of episode 6, they agreed to see who falls in love first, and then in this episode, of course, that is still going on. They're still flirting with each other and stuff. We do get a time jump to their sophomore year of college. And now I know how much younger Pa is, because I was confused about the age difference between Pat and Pa. So she's just a year younger, and she started college too. And she and her brother now live together. I got to splurge and get this girl her own place. Poor thing, constantly having to clean up after her brother. I feel so sorry for her. Anyway, she and her brother move in together, so they're both now living right across from Pran, and she knows. I'm trying to figure out when she found out they were living across from each other. It's one of those I'm probably gonna have to rewatch because I probably just forgot the scene or something. But yeah, when did she realize? Did she realize when she moved in? Yeah. But yeah. And also we see that she's taking the same faculty as Ink. Okay. When they held hands, I'm not gonna lie, I screamed. I was like, yeah, her contacts are out, yay! I think I'm a Ink Pa fan. What is that? Pa Ink? Ink Pa? Am I right? Do we just call them Pink? Oh my gosh, I'm definitely a fan. I am fangirling over the two of them. I think they're so adorable. Ink, just in general, is really adorable, and all the scenes with her I really liked. I love the scene where she tells off the senior who's trying to get the chat ID of the girls who are, they're just trying to do their freshy stuff and get signatures. I also really love the scene where Pat is flirting with Ink, and Ink just calls him out on it, I told you not to flirt with me. I thought you were stopping with this flirting with me thing. Come on. And I loved Pat and Pran trying to make each other jealous at dinner. That was cute. I love that once Pran found out that Pat is really jealous of Y, that he just utilizes it. It wasn't cute really, but it was entertaining to watch. It was very entertaining to watch. Yeah, like I said, I can't find much to complain about with the episode. I wish there was a little bit, there was drama, but it wasn't drama, if that makes sense. I guess we're supposed to just keep going on the idea that their families hate each other, because in the beginning we do see where his mom says to him, you can bring home a guy, you can bring home a girl, just don't bring home any of the neighbors' kids. And that of course affects him because he really likes Pat. He's falling in love with Pat, and their families still hate each other, and his mom has made it clear, I don't care who you bring home, just don't bring home that boy or that girl. And it sucks because, of course, you see that Pat and Pran and Pa, their relationship is good. Like, the three of them are okay. Even when Pat and Pran were in high school, they weren't enemies. They just kind of did what they had to do in front of their parents and went to school and played in a band together, you know. And then with Pa, we see the scenes with Pa and Pran talking to each other. Obviously, there's a friendship there as well. So it sucks, but I can't wait to see how it plays out. And now that I know about the Thai story about, oh gosh, what did they call it? Riam and I can't remember. Riam and Kwan. Now I have an idea of where they're going. So it's still a Romeo Juliet base, but it's a Thai story about neighbors. And seeing that they're putting that in the story, in the show as well, it kind of explained that to me. Like, okay, I see what they're going with. And the fact that they're making the play a BL. God, that actually had me cracking up, because I loved when the guy said, "Ooh, we can set up a fan meeting after," because I was like, yep, that's the same thing I'd be saying. Like, hey, we need to make sure we post pictures of these whoever the two people playing the characters are. We need to do this, we need to do that, and we need to set up a fan meeting after, because we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna sell out on this. All these BL fangirls are gonna show up. I'll be thinking about the money though. But yeah, and of course that's not a unique storyline as well. Let's make the play, but let's make it two guys. That's in so many other things where they do the same thing with Romeo and Juliet. Hey, instead of Romeo and Juliet, let's make it Renee and Juliet. Let's make it Romeo and Jules. I'm trying to think of Julio. Romeo and Julio. Shoot, they did it in Degrassi. But I actually found that little thing, like how excited everyone was about it, I found that kind of silly. But I'm like, alright, I see where for the show it might be entertaining, because it's something that they don't get to do often at the school, or maybe they do, or they said it was an old play and it's probably like a tired, drawn out storyline, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, where we try to make unique things about it. I'm thinking about that one movie, Private Romeo, now. Anyway, so I also like that being the setup to Pat trying out for the play. And of course, you know, he's trying out for the play the same reason he went on the camp trip, I feel, because he's trying to get to spend more time with Pran. I do wonder if Pran wasn't a part of the team, would he have tried out for the play? And probably not, especially since he would want to know, he would be worried about how his friends view him, trying to interact more with the architecture faculty, especially since engineering and architecture are enemies, which makes no sense, but we're gonna go with it for the show. Why it makes no sense? Like, so many engineers and architects have to work together, so anyway, it's for the show. It's entertaining. It gives us some Romeo and Juliet up in here. I also really enjoyed what's his name? Korn. Drake. My boy Drake. With Korn. You know, he's coming down the steps and he says hello to Pa, but I was like, that was like his only scene really, in that. And of course he looks over at Y and is like, what's wrong with you? But for me it was like, how did Y not notice that it looks like those two know each other? Like, how did he not look at him like, why is he just saying hi to her and walking on? Do they know each other? Or maybe he assumed they were friends or something, who knows. But what I'm really excited about is in the trailer for next week's episode, we see where Corn and the guys are basically calling Pat out and being like, all right, you keep hanging out in architecture. Are you flirting with somebody over there? You went on their camping trip. Yeah, so I'm very excited about next week's episode. I cannot wait to see what they do Friday. Well, these episodes come out on Tuesdays. I keep forgetting. I cannot wait to see what they do this Friday coming up. Talk as if it's Tuesday. This Friday coming up to show the storyline, or to do the storyline, to where they're going next. I've said before, I really like this. I actually like, so I was like kind of just going through some of the GMMTV's shows that I've watched so far that are BLs. I haven't watched all of them. I've heard Fish Upon the Sky is good and I should probably watch it. I just was really scared that it was gonna be like cringy as all hell. Not cringy the way Bad Buddy the series is cringy, where it's cringy and cute, but like cringy and horrible. Because there's so much BL out there, it's just cringy and horrible, and I can't stand it. The storyline, there's nothing cute about it or anything. But because of how good Bad Buddy the series is and how much I loved A Tale of a Thousand Stars, I might check out Fish Up on the Sky. I might actually have to watch it, because I've been hearing that, well, not only with that, but from the ones I've watched and from the comments I've seen, it looks like GMMTV has really upped their game. I started watching GMMTV stuff with Hormones, and I hated the way that the characters ended in Hormones. I didn't mind the breakup. I hated the just a couple things. I hated the fact that, like, he went, like, I love the fact that in the end he basically let his parents know, like, hey, I'm open to anything. But I just hate a lot about it. Let's just end it there. I can't talk about Hormones without crying. I loved Hormones though. I love it. But anyway, moving on. But that's what brought me to GMMTV and to their programming. So, seeing how everything is going with GMMTV and the fact that I'm really worried, because a lot of other stations, the shows that they produce, have very sketchy storylines. I've talked a lot about the storylines I don't like. Y'all know I hate that stupid show. I blocked it from my memory. That's how much I hate it. But yeah, y'all know how much I don't like that show because of how Grape's storyline was basically put in there. And it's just treated as nothing because they're so cute. They're men. It's so cute. It's not cute. And I do worry a lot with a lot of shows I watch that that's the turn they're going to take, which again, it's not cute. It's not entertaining. It's not hot. But yeah, GMMTV seems to be doing really well in the books that they choose, or the material that they choose to turn into shows. And I believe that if there were scenes like that, they're probably cutting them out to give it a better look, or to make it just more appropriate for the kind of programming they want to deliver, which is good as well. I mean, but I can't say anything about that, only because I've never read most of these stories. A lot of them are not available in English, my primary language, nor are they available in my almost secondary language, Duolingo. But yeah, it's really entertaining so far. It's really good. And they seem to be, as a station, on the right track with their programming. Next show I'm going to watch is Baker Boys. Singto is in it, so I have to check it out. Plus, I'm a huge fan of Antique Bakery. I watched the Korean movie. I'm sure we've all seen the Korean movie. And I'm also technically watched the adaptation where they basically just put the comic book on the screen and the voiceovers on it. It was in Japanese. But yeah, I watched that as well. So I'm looking forward to finally getting Baker Boys started. I'm really looking forward. I hope they don't mess it up. They're probably going to do their own twist. I'm actually going, okay, so this isn't BL, so I'm not going to do a review on it here, but I'm actually looking forward to F4 because I watched the Korean version, hated it, watched the Japanese version, hated it, watched part of the Chinese version. Chinese shows are too long. Chinese and Taiwanese shows are like 100 episodes. I can do seasons and get to 100 episodes. I cannot do one season long because so much of it is just drawn out and unnecessary. But I am actually looking forward to the Thailand version of Boys Over Flowers F4. One reason is, yes, I do like the guys that they chose for the boys, the F4 group. It seems interesting so far. And of course, we know the two dudes from Together the series are going to be in it too. So I'm actually really excited about that. I can't wait to watch that. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint me by the first episode. Because I was disappointed watching Boys Over Flowers. If you're a huge fan of Boys Over Flowers, yes, I was disappointed. I still watched every single episode. I also watched the American version of Boys Over Flowers. As you can see, I will keep watching Boys Over Flowers and keep insulting it as I watch it. Let's just say that. I hate watch shows. If I told you how many times I've watched Twilight, as I go, this is the stupidest movie series I've ever watched. Time for New Moon. I hate watch like crazy. But anyway, yeah, GMMTV seems to definitely be going in the right direction with their shows. Especially with their BL material. I cannot wait to see what else they have like planned out for the future. What other shows are coming next? Like I said, I'm gonna be watching Baker Boys. I'm excited about that one. I want to see what they do with that. I only got to catch like the opening of Baker Boys with a cake in the face, and that's because I'm not ready to watch it yet. I need more episodes out because this is killing me waiting week by week for a show. I cannot do it. I like to stream once and for all. Oh gosh, waiting every Friday to know what happens next is just so much work for me. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think of Bad Buddy, the series so far. I'm really excited about next week's episode. So in the trailer, we see that they do go back home. Pat and his dad are going to have a conversation. What is the conversation going to be about? Is it about Pran? We also see that Pat's friends kind of like confront him like, hey, you know, what's going on? Are you flirting with someone in architecture, in the architecture faculty, in courses, whatever, major? And we also see that Pat wants to go public. So I've talked about before where I feel like Pat is kind of tired of hiding everything, and it has to do a lot with his personality. He is very extreme and goes to the extreme, obviously, so that doesn't surprise me. I mean, so we see in the scene where I guess it's supposed to be flashbacks to the end of their final year and parts of their the end of their first year and parts of their second year of college, where we see like them, Pat and Pran interacting while Y is talking about the story of Kwana and Riam. And one of the things I was looking at is the scene at the bus stop where they're holding hands and then they let go hands and go back to their friends, both like blushing. And I was like, someone saw y'all. Someone had to see y'all. No one saw y'all? We need to talk about this. No one saw y'all holding hands at the bus stop. None of your friends looked over and went, hold up, I need to talk to him about that later. Nobody? Nobody? Oh my gosh. Yeah, but watching that, I was like, dang, is that Pat taking chances? Because it seems like him. He went to the library, followed him to the library. He followed him on the camping trip. He followed him again to the library. He goes to audition at the play. Like, he really seems to be willing to take all these chances. And I do, of course, have a problem with that because he's not discussing with Pran if Pran's okay with him taking these chances. And it's also Pran's fault because Pran isn't discussing with him like, hey, could you stop taking these chances? You messing with me and my family. You know how my family is. You know how my mother is. She will yank me out of this college. Boy, stop. Ooh, and yes, I forgot to mention this part. Like, it was been on my mind, and I never talked about it. So, there's a scene where Pat and Pran were at Pran's place, and they were talking about, Pat was trying to cheer Pran up. That's what it was. He was trying to cheer Pran up, and he had to hide behind the couch because Y came over. And Pat was obviously very upset because Y had Pran's guitar, the guitar that Pat had given Pran that was left at this high school that he's had since high school for him. And he's rightfully upset because, of course, he's very jealous of Y. And I do love the fact that Pran acknowledges Pat's jealousy of Y, where when, Y finally gets Pran to agree to take over for music for the play, he tells Y, no, we're good, and has him back off because he knows how jealous Pat is of Y and his relationship. But Pat storms out, of course, when Pran comes back, goes back to his apartment, and they never acknowledge that whole thing. Like, he's obviously upset. And I'm thinking in the next scene where Pran, is trying to get Pat to join the play, that they were going to acknowledge that whole thing, but there was no acknowledgement. It was just moving on. And I feel like that, eventually, of course, we have to talk about the jealousy of Y, because Pat is obviously really jealous of that relationship with Y. And that conversation has to happen. It's probably going to happen next episode, or maybe how many episodes is this season going to be? I need to look that up to see exactly how many episodes. Usually, 10 to 15 episodes, 10 to 16 episodes, about that. But how quickly this is going, I need to look up to see actually how many episodes. But I feel like that jealousy should have been acknowledged in that episode, and I'm looking it up right now as we speak. That jealousy should have definitely been acknowledged there, but it wasn't, and it really had me going, how I just realized I have not Googled this show at all since it started, because I was just Googling to see how many episodes it's going to be. It's going to be 12 episodes. But why I went, and stopped. I just saw the reviews. 99% like the show. 9.5 out of 10. 8.7 out of 10 on this. 9.5 out of 10 on IMDb. And I feel like it really definitely deserves that, because like I said, I'm loving this. This is such a good show. And the ratings, oh wow, it has really high ratings. Like a lot of 5 stars. Are y'all just bombing it with 5-star reviews to keep it on top, to get it really popular? Because that could be it too. I feel like there should be a couple 4-star, 3-star reviews, because yes, the show is great and I would give it 5 stars too, but I would expect at least one person to be like, 4 stars, I didn't like this and I didn't like this, but I like that. There's only 5-star reviews on Google, y'all. Oh my god, y'all bombing this with 5-star reviews. It deserves it. Still, I ain't knocking that. Oh my gosh. Someone here even says good casting, amazing chemistry, the plot is just right there. And it is, I agree. This plot is really good. I'm a huge fan of I've said multiple times I'm a huge fan of I'm really loving this show. I can't wait to see what happens next. So, tell me if you want me to do Fish Upon the Sky. Have I reviewed He's Coming to Me? Because I've already watched that one. I don't remember reviewing it. I'm a huge Singto fan as well. And when I saw Singto and were going to be in a show together, I was like, I gotta see that. So I'm a huge fan of both those people. And because I'm like here to follow Om's career. So yeah, anything he's in, I'll probably still review. A lot of shows I won't be reviewing, but anything Om is in, I'm down. Wow, this episode has gone really long. I am very sorry about that. It's mostly just me rambling on and on. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you're still watching Bad Buddy the series. It's available on YouTube on the GMM TV channel every Friday for your viewing pleasure for free. You just gotta get through some ads. Watch the ads. Remember, it helps the channel, their channel. And also, you help my channel by listening to this podcast and other ways to support the channel. Support the podcast. If you go to the Linktree link available in the description, you can donate to the podcast. You can also check out the merch shop, see if there's anything there you like. Let me know if there's any designs you really like, anything you like to be available in that design, because I have different options there, of course. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going back to being a mom because that is my life now. So yeah, see you next time here on Time for BL, where we make some time for BL. Have a wonderful day. This is JD Young signing off.